things are going to start happening for us now.
Oh my god.
Keep talking.
I feel like my kids would be
So
better at this. They've done so many practicing on YouTube and such.
Really?
And you're like, surprise, it's happening today.
It's so funny. People have gotten used to it. Like, you ever watch any of those old videos and things? I believe that this country is heading towards, and now it's like you just put a microphone in somebody's hands and suddenly, they're all Walter Cronkite.
Well, yeah.
Mm. You like the growl? All right. We're ready when you are.
I am ready. All right, stand by, everyone. Let's make sure that I'm recording to the right place. Otherwise, that would be bad. There we go. Now we're set. All right, here we go.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Drink in the Style, brought to you by Habitation Design and the District Edina. I'm your host, Gregory Rich, and as I used to say, I'm going to help you kill your early evening with some booze and conversation. Tonight's theme, I'm going to call it Breaking Down Barriers. We are joined by Tamitha Miller and Susie Strothman, principals at the all-woman-owned Elia Healy Construction. Did I do it right?
No.
You
Yes.
did. First time of 10, but good.
I'll screw it up at least 3 times during the show.
That's good. That's good.
You guys, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having
you.
us.
I'm thrilled to have you here because you guys are doing some amazing, amazing things, and you are trailblazing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we're going to learn more about what it's like to be an all-woman-owned business in a male-dominated industry.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
I know, right? Oh, that was dramatic. Oh, you're going to be back on the show. Oh, lordy, it's going to be good. All right, we also have a special guest star this evening. It's like the old Love Boat thing. I just envisioned you in a heart, and along with Charo. We are joined by none other than Carrie Shear from Satori Kitchen and Bath. Carrie, welcome.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you are. We've been talking about this for a little bit. I know you're a little nervous. You're going to do just
I'm
fine.
okay.
In order to keep you calm, we gave you a knife and an orange. So I can't see how anything could possibly go wrong.
No, not at all.
Awesome. All right. So what do you have for us from the perch of the Coctological chair?
Yes, we are making a zesty citrus cream with a drink in the style twist. No pun intended. The interesting fact about this particular alcohol, Amarula, is it does originate from Africa, and just there's an elephant story involved with this as well, which is why there's an elephant on the bottle.
Mhm.
And I did highlight a couple things I wanted to mention. Elephants do travel for miles to feast on the wild fruit that this is made from. The elephant tree, African folklore also refers to as the marriage tree because of the aphrodisiac qualities in this drink.
That's the secret. Tamitha, I didn't let you in on that one.
Whoa.
Mhm.
And the marula trees are protected under South African law, just like our precious elephants. And they are a key part of African heritage and may not be farmed for commerce. And the fruit is sold in a variety of natural products. Amarula, of course, being one of them. So it's a great item, and I'm really excited to make this today.
It's really, really delicious. And,
Yeah.
it's a cream liqueur. So, it's, kind of like a Kahlua type of a feel. Well, not really a Kahlua feel, more like a Bailey's Irish cream type of mouthfeel.
Speaking my language.
Oh, outstanding. So we've got the Amarula. Then normally we would have triple sec, correct?
Correct. But we are exchanging it today for the twist in the show with orange Caraco.
Carousel.
Carousel.
Nobody knows how to say it. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's
Carousel.
So yeah. So I mean, if truth be known, I thought we had some triple sec. We didn't have triple sec, but triple sec is an orange liqueur, as is orange curacao. So who knows? Maybe it'll turn out to be even better.
Isn't there a blue curacao?
There
is.
is the more commonly used variety.
Yeah.
So we're mixing this together. You have a Yari and a shot glass. Johnson, you're forgetting our mixing music. There we go. And take it away, Carrie.
All right.
So we are adding about
20
a
milliliters
20
per
milliliters.
drink. I'm gonna triple it so we have enough.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Actually, quadruple it. We got
Quadruple
Johnson
it,
if we can
yeah.
squeeze the thing. I don't like to have our producer sober because it makes him regret his life
Yeah.
choices.
Yeah.
So we're going to do 20 milliliters. Of course, this is America. So we're on the imperial system.
And then we're going to do 50 mils of the Amarula.
Okay. So a bit more curacao or triple sec than we're actually doing with the Amarula. So that's going to be very orangey. We should point out that Sarah from Satori
Yes.
actually provided some of this liquor for us.
Yes, she did.
What?
She used to be a liquor rep for Phillips, so she knows a lot
Mm.
about the history of these drinks and the flavors she just knows quite a bit of information. Without her, I would have been lost. So
And I'm a huge fan of
Yes.
Phillips on
Yes.
every level. Their vodka, their vodka is actually the only one that's not stabilized using citric acid. So as a result, theoretically, you have a lesser hangover.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Or so I've been told. I don't get
I thought that was
hangovers.
all about B12.
A lot of different theories, I suppose, but I'm choosing this one. We live in the days of choosing facts.
Yes, we do.
We totally.
Sad but true. We should
So sad,
probably,
unfortunately.
given that it's Phillips, we should probably do a quick little plug just to remind
Voting?
everybody to vote
Vote.
on
Yes.
Tuesday. It may be
Yes.
our last chance.
I know.
I know. Talk about downing it. Okay, so Carrie, you have thrown both of these ingredients into a shaker
yes, with ice.
with ice.
And we're gonna top it off with some orange zest.
Okay.
But I'm gonna, like I said, it's drinking the style with a twist. So please bear with me while I'm working on making some twist, and the flavor of the oil from the orange, I'm gonna rub around the rim of the drink, and then I'll make a little twist, and you can add more or squeeze more in, whatever you prefer. So,
Carrie is very excited about rimming the
Yes.
glasses
Yes.
today.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she is.
Indeed.
I'm glad.
I'm sorry.
I know there's video, but yeah, you're making me blush.
That's the whole point of it.
It is a well-respected cocktailological term. I don't know where your mind is going.
I know.
Really happy to be producing
Yeah.
this last episode of Drinking the Style. All right, so you have rimmed, you have zested, you have shaken.
Yes.
Frankly, this really sounds like a fabulous Friday
I
night to
know,
me.
right?
Now we're getting personal.
It's not very often I have this shaped thing in my face, neither.
Did I tell you I'm starting a new career narrating or book reading Harlequin romances?
Oh, awesome. Somehow that scares me.
As it
Just a little
should.
bit.
All right, these look absolutely wonderful. So again, so the cream is it's much lighter than you would generally expect,
Mhm.
right? I mean, it has almost a milky quality to it,
Hmm.
and it's a delight. So Carrie's got that. Oh, you just expressed
Yes.
over the.
And I was trying to be fancy, but it doesn't really stay on the cup. So I
That's
just
all
stick
right.
it in there.
It would fall into my eye anyway. All right, so here we go. So we have two. Carrie, if you don't mind, I'll let you continue
done.
to work
Yep.
on the glasses while
Yeah.
Tamitha and I enjoy. Sorry,
The artist
enjoy.
formerly known as Tamitha. Now Tamitha.
I'm sorry, dear. All right, let's give this a quick try and
Let's
see what we
sludge it.
think.
I expect it to taste like a dreamsicle with a twist.
It does. Oh no, this is really tasty.
This does not taste like alcohol.
No, it doesn't. I wonder what I don't know what
Ooh,
the
that is
alcohol
good.
content is.
Yeah.
I can kind of see why it's considered an aphrodisiac.
I think
though.
it's 100%.
And if not, we'll drink
It
enough to
tastes
make sure
incredible.
we get a little drunk. Okay, no, I give this thumbs up.
Yeah.
It is it's got great mouthfeel.
Mm.
Carrie, keep your mind out of the gutter on that one. It has, I mean, it just has great nose. The orange feels absolutely delicious.
Mhm.
I'm going to say that this is a top-notch cocktail.
I would agree.
All right.
Yes, thank
So
you.
before we cut to break, I am interested in asking you today's random question. Are you prepared?
I guess maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
Does
enough.
it have to do with a buzz?
It's-
I'm a little scared now, to be honest.
I know, right? It's God knows. No, this is a totally and completely harmless question.
Great.
All right, thinking about a movie, any movie in the world,
Mm.
what role would you want to have been cast in?
The lead in Amelie.
That was a great movie and perfect for this. The French, you would be good in that. Susie, what about you?
I have no idea. I'm trying to think. Thinking maybe my movies are terrible. Wow, I have no idea. I mean, first thing that came to mind was Titanic, but I don't know that.
That would be a really, really bad choice.
But I really don't want that role. So
Oh, all right,
Yeah.
fabulous. Well, we should take a quick break and figure out where this background ringing is coming from.
Yes.
Yes. And
We'll think of a movie for Susie.
yeah,
Yes.
seriously, I'm
We're
not
gonna
putting
put
you.
in a minute.
You're probably the only person who would have actually said the Titanic. You are literally the. That is just off
like
the
a
charts.
role, yeah.
If I may answer,
Yes, Carrie, please.
I would be the orange in The Godfather.
Oh my God, you would be the mark of death.
While Susie sinks into the ocean.
I absolutely believe, folks. If you don't know, in the Godfather movies, the orange. Whenever you see an orange, it means someone was about to die. So when I was, it's true. So when I was driving back from the store, I actually was terrified of driving home with just one orange.
Oh.
It was.
Wow.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about construction. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, where the hell is that? Is it? It's not my phone. It's not.
What is that?
Is it my speaker? Is it?
A fire alarm?
It's coming from over there.
Is it in one of the verses or more of the?
This thing.
It's an alarm.
Bitch, it's me.
Oh,
Is it an alarm?
Must have been.
Oh.
Oh,
a 9-minute alarm.
Oh, I got you.
Now I'm like, I should make sure this.
I was trying to think of what to talk about.
Or we don't tape between, do we? Or does it keep rolling?
Well, it's an interesting question.
You have outtakes, don't you, you
This is a
crazy
good
man?
drink, though.
I was going to make sure my phone was up, but now you get to just see.
Oh,
So do I.
I was so ready to yell at somebody.
I know.
I call
God damn it! What the hell? Oh no! Wait, we all make mistakes.
Who's got a mirror? Who's got a mirror? Let's get the mirror out. There's a mirror right there, sir. Go ahead. Commence with your yelling.
Yeah.
I know. But in answer to the question, do we record in between? We do run a recording, and sometimes what we do is we put it out as a clandestine recording with no one's
Oh.
name on it. So we put the
Oh.
music in the background, so it's
Mhm.
continuous,
Mhm.
and then our inane chatter. And I think of it as kind of like party background white noise that
Mm.
people could theoretically do.
Yeah.
And we hide it under the very catchy name of
Papa Giorgio's Drunk After Dark Speakeasy Podcast.
Boom. Trademark.
Yeah.
If you're going to trademark anything,
Yes.
that should be
Yes.
what you trademark.
That should be. Yes.
Yeah, you guys are lucky I didn't think of that when I was naming the building. I'm sure. Papa Giorgio's Drunk After Dark
I think that
Speakeasy
was-
Showrooms.
So we'll do it.
Furniture.
So I can stop it from my thing.
Yeah.
Oh, too funny. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's no way we can get rid of that noise in the background, is there?
It was picked up very much on the mics. We'll hear it.
Oh, that's true.
It's funny.
It was, yes.
I hope my kids actually, I tried to call them and tell them not to call me, and then neither one answered. So I texted them and said, "Do not call. I will be." So,
Good call.
We're getting calls from Lampert Lumber as we speak.
oh well.
Ooh.
We're
You
not-
know what I will say? You know what we should do? We should try some whiskey. Let's make another round of this. maybe, and then add whiskey to it. Let's develop this motherfucker.
So add it
Oh my God.
with
yes.
the 2 ingredients.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it
and-
would be really good with whiskey.
Yeah, and a shot of
Yeah.
whiskey.
It's
Do you have
gonna be
whiskey
like,
down there? Or do you need me to grab
I
a
think
whiskey?
there's one. You got one up
It's
there?
like
Got some right there.
It's like an Irish coffee
yes.
without
The
the
best.
coffee with an orange
I'll
twist.
just, should I just start making it now?
I like it. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I'll just work on it now.
An
Yeah.
Irish coffee without the coffee
Yes.
with an orange twist. Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
It's kind of like the name of his
Okay.
building thing on the side that he's doing.
I'm wondering. Yeah.
Or no, the podcast.
What's his-
that's not a podcast.
Papa
that
Giorgio's
is a
Drunk After
podcast.
Dark Speakeasy podcast.
That one.
What
Trademark.
does the cream
Isn't that a
look?
character's name on the Howard Stern show?
Mm.
Papa Giorgio?
Might
I
be.
thought-
know you got it from the Vegas vacation movie, right?
Lena used to call me that, Mr. Papa Giorgio.
Mr. Papa Giorgio.
Ooh, you want to sing an intro?
Ah.
So,
All right.
What does the Amarillo itself smell like?
Like Kahlua a little bit. Like sort of.
I kind of like holding the microphone. I feel like a lounge singer.
You do. You should start singing.
I can do the, you know.
Well, this is
Toss it around.
You ever see a movie called High Anxiety with Mel Brooks?
Probably.
this is spent.
Spent?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, we didn't bring in the other one? I'll go grab.
I'll help you clean up later.
I'm going to turn off my phone and make sure it's off.
Yeah, smart.
It's a pretty bottle too. My sister
Yeah.
collects elephants. So I might get it for Christmas. I think she'll like it.
It's a little bit more like Bailey's than it is, but like
Yeah.
but I still can't. really-
So elephants
with a
have
little
like a
sweeter.
special place in our family. My sister, she never met her father.
Okay.
And when her birth father passed away, she got to meet, huh?
Were you guys hearing anything in your
Yes,
headset?
a little
Like,
bit,
where-
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm doing some editing.
Oh.
We set it up so you guys aren't
She
getting
got to meet part of the family she never knew, and cousins and a sister she didn't know she had, and she collected elephants since we were kids, and found
Okay.
out her
Cute.
grandfather that she never met also collected elephants.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, so she got to pick out a couple from his collection. So
That's
it was pretty
cool.
special.
That's fun.
Yeah,
Very cool.
like small.
I had never
Strange
heard of
coincidence.
this. I had never heard of this Amarillo.
Yeah, it's a
before.
pretty bottle too. I love it.
Amarula? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Amarula?
Amarula. Yeah.
And marula is the tree, right?
Yep.
Yep. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So it's almost like amaretto. is
And there's
red.
it only grows over there too. It's
Is-
kind of like the Joshua Tree Forest. It's just one little section of the world.
Okay.
So they're like the size of small plums, the fruit, but oval.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I still haven't thought of the movie.
Like I never would have thought to mix something like this with orange. It's not something that I would have thought of. It's
Yeah.
great.
That's the
Mhm.
joy of cocktailology,
Yeah.
I think.
Thanks to Sarah.
What is the joy of coctology?
Being able to
Discovering.
mix a bunch of different flavors together, and sometimes you hit something that's
Mhm.
absolutely fantastic.
Mm.
Sadly, in my case, I'm usually drunk, so I won't remember what that fantastic thing is.
Why is talking about coctology sound so raunchy?
Apparently, you have a dirty mind.
Well, that was her. You started it. You started talking about rimming or something. It's got really.
I know not what I know not what you speak
You
of.
guys. What time is it?
I have a feeling we'll be able to use the bleep out noise once or twice this program, Johnson.
No, never.
Mhm.
Does it do like a trail like?
Sorry, I'm making a mess.
Oh God, no, we've tried a couple different ones.
Boing.
That would not be a bad idea. I like the woohoo. I still like Amy's woohoo. Amy Heimerman,
Oh.
Southern girl, used to work for me for a while,
Oh.
and she did this great little woohoo.
How much do you want me to do? Like a same amount of whiskey as the orange, or a little bit less?
I would say do equal parts.
Okay. Sorry, I'm making a mess at your table. I will help you clean up.
It's fine. It's fine. All right, hold on. Just sending a quick text. What time is your party? Do you guys know Kristen Rackner?
Yeah.
Love Kristen. She was my BFF at ASID when I was ASIDing back in the
Oh.
day. So they're hosting a pre-ASID party over at 1244, my old
Well, you should
building.
go to
on
that.
there. I may.
Mhm.
Nancy Flom is hosting a post ASID / grand opening party
Oh,
over
nice.
at Stark Intersource.
Oh, okay.
But that one I'm not going to.
I guess
No.
our invites got lost in the mail again.
Dag nabbit.
Oh, so many things I could say.
I feel like I have to catch up.
Mhm.
That's a nice sound.
Yeah,
I know. Get that in the microphone.
but I hear it in the microphone.
That's the radio. Theater.
Make sure you get both hands so you can
Yeah, there you go.
get a good grip on it.
It's perfect. If someone wanted to see us live, where would they go?
If you want to hand me your glass.
Facebook, and then go
Sure.
to AM 950. Oh, I like the urgency of panicking and grabbing the glass for more liquor. Well
There you
done.
go. Oh my gosh. Let me not hold you back any further.
Gregory and Johnson, where's your
You could
Oh, yeah.
expedite that a little bit more.
What's that?
As if you could expedite your need for alcohol.
do you want to hand that? There you go.
There we go. That there. Hey.
Oh yeah, the lounge thing.
There's more
So
left
Mel
if anybody
Brooks,
wants more.
one of the best,
Yes.
to me, greatest comedy minds of all time. So he did this movie called High Anxiety. He plays a psychologist who has high anxiety. So at some point he starts singing on the lounge the theme song, which is
Yes.
High Anxiety. And suddenly he starts doing all this whip shit with the thing. He's got like some woman he, whips her.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. I love it.
That was a great movie.
Oh, look at that. Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, Sarah, she wrote that up for me. She was amazing.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Yeah, she's awesome. She
Yeah.
should be so she should
Yes.
cocktailologize.
I agree. She wouldn't need
that.
notes.
That's a word, yeah.
She wouldn't need notes. She'd
Check out Urban
all of us.
Dictionary.
Yeah.
All right. I sound a little muffled. Am I good? I'm coming through.
Yeah, you were a little hot on the last one, so I turned you down a little bit.
Oh,
Like,
am I drowning everyone out as usual?
the last one a little bit, but I can clean that up in post.
Outstanding.
Cleaned it up
All
in post.
right.
Yeah.
Titanic.
Don't tell
I love you. Any movie in the
Fly
entire
off
world,
the
you
front of
choose
the
one.
ship.
like the
about-
queen of the world.
Fly off the front of the ship.
Yes.
She survives. Come on.
She's like the only one.
I
So you want to be the only survivor on a wreckage?
You know,
Like-
whatever.
No, Molly Brown also survived.
That, yes.
The
No, a
unsinkable
lot of
Molly
people
Brown.
did.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, good call. Good call. Good call.
And the oranges survived too.
Yeah.
Jack didn't survive, man. Jack did not survive.
Well, yeah,
He
right.
died with a wave.
Supposedly, yes.
Supposedly, what? Is there some conspiracy
Never
theory that I don't know
know.
about?
That would be kind of funny.
Wouldn't it? He's like living
As
with
soon as
Elvis
he drifted
somewhere.
along, he flipped over a boat of like children and crawled on. We
Oh
could
my
get totally
God.
dark on this.
Yep.
Speaking of Elvis, the movie I thought it was great.
Wasn't bad.
I haven't seen
I wouldn't mind being Priscilla in that movie if I can take my answer back.
it.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Ah, all right.
Should we do segment 2?
We should. We're waiting on you, my friend, whenever you're ready.
Naughty.
All right. Stand by. I'll throw some meat mark in here. Go. Recording.
Everybody be serious.
I know. We're getting to the business part.
All right, you guys ready? Stand by here. Oh, wait, I got set this up so you guys actually hear the music. Yeah, that would be helpful.
We tried it once without the headphones and things and no music. And it was just weird. Yeah, it's amazing how little things like that are like absolutely critical.
That's what
The details.
You get the rhythm for it, right?
Mm.
All right, stand by. Here we go now.
Why don't you start on a different? Restart that one.
What was wrong with that?
Did you like it? All right, start with the
I
toilet.
didn't hear it again.
Is that Luck Be a Lady?
No, this is that.
Aims
that
a
kick
kick in the
yes,
head.
yes, yes. Yep.
Anybody want to go to the toilet? Go to it now.
Let's
Wasn't
try
it-
it again. All right, here we go.
That a kick?
Oh, ain't that a kick in the head? I love this song so much. Are you guys fans of Dean Martin?
I do like Dean Martin.
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent
Frank
choice.
Sinatra did a great version of this too.
Oh, he did. Oh, absolutely. I mean, everything Frank Sinatra did was, of course, a great version.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Drink in the Style. I'm your host, Gregory Rich, and I am joined by Tamitha Miller and Susie Strothman from Elia Healy.
Good job.
Thank you so very much. All right, you guys, welcome. You know what? Before I even start with the tell us about your firm, tell us about your name that I am so often struggling because for some reason I like Elia Healy.
Yeah, that's just so wrong. At least it feels wrong, you know.
I know.
I'll take the first and you take
Yes,
the second. Does that sound good?
absolutely.
Okay, so Elia comes from my grandparents. It's an acronym for my grandparents' names, which is Ellen Lucy and Elwin Alexander, ELEA. And that represents the client side of our business, our relationship side of the business.
That's fabulous. And
Yes.
was the name with all of those individual names already taken online, so you shortened it to an acronym?
No, I just thought, that would be a long email. It's like Tamitha at Ellen Lucy Elwin Alexander Healy
Squarespace.net.
I mean, we're going to get there someday, I imagine, but hopefully not anytime in my lifetime. So,
True.
Yep.
So that's Elia.
Yes.
And then
Healy. So my great grandfather was a master builder in Minneapolis in the 1890s, and actually the most thing that people recognize is the Victorians right off of 35W and Lake Street.
absolutely
Just
beautiful.
up there. That's the Healy block, and that was T.P. Healy, Theron Potter Healy, who was my great grandfather. So that's the craftsmanship part of our company.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's so nice when there's meaning behind a name, legitimate meaning. Because one of the things that is really important in business is to do more than just make money. You need to have this as something deeper, something more meaningful. And to give it that kind of a name must make you feel must make you feel good every time you introduce yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's fun to tell people the story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wonderful. All right. So let's talk about the company itself.
Sure.
Describe, tell us.
So we're a remodeling, primarily a residential remodeling company, design build firm, and we're general contractors. So we do the whole kit and caboodle. Susie,
Yeah.
you wanna-
So we, start from the beginning, do the full design process, and then we also build everything we design.
So
So-
from a remodeling design, so you're not building necessarily brand new.
Correct.
You're doing full-fledged remodels, and I assume of all different sizes, different styles. Do you have an area of expertise? Have you revisited your grandfather's Victorian roots?
I have worked, we haven't really done a Victorian per se, but we have done quite a few older homes. I have always specialized in older homes. I really enjoy that. I like doing what I call sympathetic architecture, which is making additions and alterations to houses that you think you don't know where it started and where it ended. So
Yes.
it's really in keeping with the style, but bigger things like how the pieces work together. What's the flow? What's the size and scale of the pieces that come together? So it all seems like it's really natural, so that you're not putting something really out of scale onto a home.
It's so important. It is. We used to have, we tore this down and built another house, my wife and I, but we had bought this one house out in Wayzata, and it was hysterical because it started as like a 1920s cottage. And then somebody put on a 1960s edition, and then somebody put on a 1970s edition, and then somebody put on a 1980s edition. Literally, it was like walking through time, and it was on a narrow lot, so it was like a bowling alley. And like we used to, Christine and I used to stay like, we're standing in 1 second and like, look, it's 72. Look, it's 85.
Yeah. Well, and so that's an interesting thing, because sometimes you can tell when a remodel was done because it's just so of the period.
Yes.
And we also call some of those things remodeling.
Oh, I like that term. Is
Yeah.
that an industry or is that your term?
I've heard it before. It's not my specific term, but yes.
So you're definitely not
Remodel.
remodelers.
No.
Neither of you look like a remodeler.
No.
I don't like to remodel things.
No.
It gets really dirty.
Yeah, why do twice? Yeah.
That's true. Now, so we're also talking about some of these things. So you guys have very specific roles within your company, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Tamitha, What's your position?
So I do most of the interior specification. So final finishes, the tile, the plumbing fixtures, the electrical fixtures, the paint on the walls, the carpet, that sort of thing, the flooring. And then I also do project management. So I do most of the scheduling and communications with subcontractors and all of that. So
Okay, fabulous. So you are on the aesthetics as well as the management side
yes,
simultaneously.
the brains and the beauty.
Geez, Susie, what
Did
does
I
that
just
leave
say
for
that?
you?
I don't know. So my
The
role
same?
typically would be the same exactly. My role would be to do the architectural designs of things. So go out and measure, make the base drawings, do the architectural changes. We do both remodels within the shell and also additions. And actually, we're doing like an ADU, which is almost a new build.
Yeah.
ADU, what is ADU?
That's an accessory dwelling unit. So somebody who wants to put living quarters over their garage or something like that. So
okay.
yes, so we're working on something like that as well. And then I also do a lot of the finance areas of the business as well.
Wow, that is a lot of the nitty gritty,
And she's our wordsmith, as you can
Right.
tell.
which is actually, you are good at it. I mean, the modelist, I mean, it's brilliant. And then you guys also have a great term that you use to refer to yourselves, which is remodelists.
Correct.
Yes.
Where did that term come from?
So remodelist is actually both, it's remodeling or remodeler and then specialist together. So it's a remodelist. And we've been working hard to elevate the thinking around remodeling. And we partner ourselves with people who specialize in remodeling. They know houses. They know how houses work.
Yep.
They aren't out doing the stadiums. They aren't doing industrial stuff at the same time. They're doing houses.
Right.
And we know historic things. We know how houses have a logic. So so it's about being a remodeling specialist. So a remodelist.
That makes that's a brilliant term, and I'm completely stealing it. I hope you don't mind.
You and so many people.
No doubt,
We started
right?
going out in our gear and they're like, can we buy one? And then they'd see our logo on the back and they'd be like, or not. my husband would kill me.
Whatever you say, Mrs. Griner.
Yeah.
But I love it. It says so much. So
Yeah.
really well done. And as a man who,
Yeah.
again, is a fan of the term coctologist, I have respect for such things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all right, so that's awesome. I want to ask you this question though about remodeling, because as we talked about like that bizarre house that I had,
Mhm.
I had wanted very much to build on that foundation, essentially remodel it. I felt that the walls were still fairly good, but everybody was begging us, we don't want to remodel. Tear it down. It's faster, it's quicker, it's easier. Do you run up against that very often?
Not really often, but it is the easy button for certain spaces. There's a lot of post-war small houses that have become in desirable neighborhoods, and it has become a challenge to actually add on to them in a way that people find works for their lifestyle now.
Okay.
So you have to be a little bit more clever and a little bit more what am I saying? To do a remodel of that rather than just blow it down and then do something that, you're just popping a box up with trusses over the top or whatever.
You can't come in with a cookie cutter solution to those types of things. You need to know what you're going for, as well as bring in the client's aesthetic as well. And so not only do you have to hit the client aesthetic and make sure that it's something that they're going to love and enjoy and, for all time that they're there, but also something that is sympathetic, as Susie was saying before, that goes in with the architecture. And so, not everybody has the talent to do that, to come in and make that happen. And we are actually very fortunate in the Twin Cities to have very talented community of remodelists in the Twin Cities.
We
The
do.
Twin Cities has some amazing talent.
It
Bottom
really
line,
does. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
become this, as we all know. I mean, we live here,
Yeah.
and for folks who are listening to us as a podcast,
Yeah.
possibly not from Minneapolis,
Mhm.
it's a very unique place.
It's thriving
It
in
is.
remodeling. It really is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. And it makes sense too, because a lot of the homes that we had built here, because of the harshness of the climate,
Right.
are well built, stable, solid houses.
Yeah.
And you don't want to tear those things down.
Right.
It's a lot like the district building that
Right.
we are sitting in as we speak, since we
Mhm.
moved recording from the studios of AM 950 over to my luxurious office on the penthouse level of the District Edina. Thank you very much.
Mm.
Stuff is worth keeping. It's the
Yeah.
big difference, of course, between Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Yeah.
Minneapolis blew everything out from their
Mhm.
downtown.
Correct.
St.
Mhm.
Paul preserved it.
Right.
Tragically, St. Paul doesn't have the economic base that Minneapolis has, so
Mhm.
people assume that it's always nice to have the new and such.
Right.
Mhm.
But the fact is that St. Paul's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
really, really
It
is.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we should take another break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the struggles, excitements, and challenges associated with your line of work.
Somebody loves you.
Dean Martin is my spirit animal.
I mean,
Chicago too. It's the
ugh,
same. Reminds you of St. Paul. The buildings seem to have a lot of.
I just can't get
Historic-
enough of that time period.
Yeah,
It's just like,
so-
how can you not move? Just like move everybody. Let's just make this a dance party. Like,
No.
come on.
I mean, I can't stand modern music, but everything since like 1972
Mm,
is a guitar, a bass, and a drum as
mm,
far as rock goes. And
Mm.
it's all two-dimensional, and mix this little thing up, mix that little thing up. This is fucking orchestrated. You have,
Ah,
and,
it's beautiful.
Sinatra did not think of himself as a singer-songwriter.
Right.
Everybody has their own skill sets. His was a
Right.
voice.
Right.
You know,
And
no-
entertainer.
and
Oh,
entertainer.
right.
I love him because it reminds me of Vegas, and I love Vegas.
Right. Engagement. Right.
You
Engagement
love
with the
Vegas.
audience.
In the morning.
Vegas. We go like 4 times a year.
I love Vegas in the fall. Another Dean Martin. Should we do that?
Yeah.
Can you pull that one up? I Love Vegas
Yes,
by
no.
Dean Martin.
It's like, shoot.
Remind me
Thank
of
you.
the
I
shows. I'll have to show you the house that we're buying. I think you might like
Oh,
the style. It's unique.
yes. Love
Very-
it.
It's very
Yeah.
cool. Carrie, I should say, she is
Oh,
she
boy.
is bold.
Oh, boy.
Absolutely
Oh,
bold.
boy.
She has bought several pieces of art out of the art
Mm.
gallery,
Nice.
including the famous Party Girl. I don't know, did you guys see that when you
Oh,
came in?
nice.
Just always one with the birthday hat,
Yes.
yep.
Yay. Cute.
And she just bought
I don't know what it's called. I call it Wait Your Turn, but I think it was called Schoolgirl, maybe. I'm not even sure what the title
Possibly.
is.
We'll have to ask
Hmm.
Mary. We'll
Yeah.
show it to you. It's right in the
yeah,
gallery.
I
It's
would
so
love
cool.
to see that.
It's kind of Mary Solberg as a child, more or less,
Oh,
going
wow.
to Catholic school
and
and
Cute.
dreaming of being with friends and reading magazines that parents won't let her read, and
oh,
dressing
cute.
how she wants. And you can just see in the eyes the longing in her face. Like, I just want to do what my other schoolmates are doing.
Oh,
It's sad, actually.
it's
oh.
awesome.
Yeah.
Johnson, if you don't mind jumping a little earlier
It
on the music so I
emotes.
can wind it down, that would be kind of cool. I always feel kind of
Oh,
we're
I
calling
think
for it.
It emotes
So,
feeling, which
yeah.
is
if I've got it and I give you
I'm
the
not
nod,
one-
I
I
get it,
don't
we'll wind it
believe in
down. But
Music sounds
Children being forced. to
Appreciate it.
religion,
Did you
and
find
they
the right
should
track?
choose when they're old enough to understand.
right.
back to that.
So that's kind of my thought.
That's how
Yeah,
we've done it too.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
exactly.
Yep.
by the way,
Yes.
vastly improved.
Right.
Now,
Whiskey.
Whiskey makes
Now.
everything better.
agreed. I couldn't agree more. Oh, you and me.
I
Oh,
mean,
dear.
danger. Danger twins.
Yes.
Wonder drunk twin powers activate.
Ignite. Go gadget whiskey.
Form of, shape of.
No.
What was the one you were doing?
It's I Love Vegas in the morning. It's a
So we've been
adulteration of I Love
trying to get into the
Paris.
house for 9 months.
Ah, okay.
Really?
We were supposed to close back in March. Right before closing, it caught on fire.
No.
No.
Yeah, and we had all this furniture bought, and
No.
yeah, I'll tell you the story after the show.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
shock.
Okay.
I didn't get to call you a froster.
Good. All right. Yep.
What?
Can we let it roll for a good 45
Didn't get to
seconds?
use
What's the
my
max we're
baking,
supposed to use?
baking analogy.
You will. Next
A
week.
little bit. Yeah.
We'll go like 15 seconds into it. Yeah, you can let it roll for a while.
Don't want to get us pulled down on Facebook again. If we run too
What?
long with,
Oh, copyright.
yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're terrible with that. Yeah. If
Ridiculous.
you go 30 seconds, they'll usually let you go.
Okay.
If you go more than that,
Ah.
that's when they'll pull you down.
Hmm.
Send you all that crap. You
Even
can
if I'm
go
playing my own
license
record
over.
on a story on Instagram, it'll say you don't have the rights. It's like it's my record. I bought it. I'm just playing it to show my
Oh,
friends.
it's
Yeah.
terrible with
No.
that, yeah.
There's a lawsuit about that. Bruce Willis sued
Mm.
Apple on that when he learned that he could not will to his kids his music collection.
Hmm.
Really?
You own nothing in America. Land of freedom, except we own
Mm.
nothing.
Well,
Hmm.
there's some left in here. If everybody wants.
Yes.
There's no. Why do I have that song in my head?
I
Like
don't
show.
know.
It's not even related
No.
in any fat shape or form. You what? Ah, there we go.
Well, I'm glad you guys like it.
Yeah.
I like this couch.
Isn't that gorgeous?
I asked Greg if I could have
Love
a
the
cactus
color of it.
orange. I'm so nervous. I'm not a mixologist in real life. I mean, I,
play
know it's
one,
hard to
I play
believe.
one on a
It's
podcast.
hard
But
to
she's a
believe.
master cocktailologist. It has nothing to do with the liquor, though.
It's so, that's how professional I am. It's hard to believe. I do
Yes.
this for a living.
I love it.
Do love that couch, though, don't you? I mean,
Oh my God, I
it's
love
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
I just love the color of it.
It's that's from a Turkish manufacturer named Vanessa Furniture.
Of course it is.
I know they were supposed to be selling in the United States or warehousing in the United States. So I bought the entire showroom out in High Point
Mm.
back when it was first opening Habitation, and then the sons of bitches decided not to do it
Mhm.
after all.
Oh,
So I had all this gorgeous Turkish furniture that I unloaded, except that couch. I was like, no, that stays. That's
Dag
mine.
nabbit.
Sometimes leather
Like-
isn't the most comfortable. This is super comfortable.
It's super comfortable.
Mary Solberg is doing a custom piece for me, and she's going to use that shade of green in it so that we can kind of.
It's like a black green.
I know.
It's
It
so pretty.
is.
Yeah.
Do you remember what was her name? Katie, who used to work for me as the
Yeah.
admin before she got
Yeah.
connected with Andrea. she thought it was black,
oh,
and I'm like, seriously, you want me to make you a designer and you can't tell what color the couch is?
Hmm.
Yeah, what can you do? All right.
Curious.
When you're ready,
Kids
brother.
these days.
I agree.
I don't get it.
All right, here we go. Segment number 3. And stand by. Here we go. She loves dancing.
yeah.
I don't care if the sun don't shine. I do the drinking in the evening time. In Las Vegas. You can see the sun again. I get
A fabulous song dedicated to the lovely, lovely Carrie Shear, who adores Las Vegas, correct? She's absolutely wonderful. You guys go down there, what, a few times a year, don't you?
About 3 to 4, yes.
Okay, good for you.
Boom.
John Gerber, artist in residence at the District Edina, an insanely talented artist, actually does the same thing. About once a quarter, he and his girlfriend go down, just get away.
Mm.
Not so much for the gambling, but just the freedom of
There's
being
a lot to do
detached.
down there.
We've
I mean, it's
actually met up
just-
with
yeah.
them on one trip.
Oh, that's great.
Right, you guys had dinner. That
Mhm.
was
Mm.
Vegas is
I'm more about the relaxing too. And the restaurants and the shows. And
Oh, there's so much to do.
yeah,
down there.
just
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
it's great.
different scene.
Mhm.
it absolutely is. And it's an energy all
Yeah.
its own.
Oh,
My wife and I actually once went down there, and I've talked many times about my absolutely wonderful studio director, Lena Lupizio, who we
Mm.
have to have on the show soon, again. And I was her first interior design client back when she owned Vogue Furniture, which was the hippest, coolest furniture store in town back in the 90s, did most of Paisley Park, all that
Mm.
other stuff. We had fallen out of touch, as you often do, for like 6-7 years, hadn't seen them.
Mhm.
So Christina and I are in the Bellagio, and we're checking in, and all of a sudden we hear these voices, and we turn over, and wouldn't you know it,
Didn't you know it?
Lena and Gino and another couple are there, and it's like,
Mm.
oh my God, in Vegas of all places.
It's like your backyard.
Agreed, I guess so. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drink in the Style. I'm Gregory Rich, Tamitha Miller, and Susie Strothman are with me.
Hello.
Are you guys having a good time?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I should enrich, by the way, the experience and let folks know that we have pumped up this cocktail in between segments
We did.
and discovered that an ounce of slain Irish whiskey gives some heart and soul to this cocktail.
Yes.
So now the cocktail, what was it called again, Carrie? Do you remember?
The zesty
Cream.
citrus cream.
Zesty citrus cream. It's now going to be called an Irish zesty
Mhm.
citrus cream because
It has a kick.
it has a kick.
And
Kick
it's
in the
triple
head.
cask.
Ain't that a kick in the head?
Oh, I knew we'd be able to get you to sing. Well done.
Well, you put liquor in me. You put me with these amazing people. You feed me. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Segment 4 is all going to be Tamitha's drunken ramblings and singing.
Please no.
Just sing.
Back to the design.
That's a good point. That's why people are listening. Back to design. All right. So let's go down to brass tacks on this stuff. You guys are a women-owned business
Yes.
in a male-dominated industry.
God forbid.
What are the biggest challenges aside from dealing with men who are difficult?
So mainly, the biggest difficulty is just the perception
Mm.
of, as being, two women who own this company, we're often thought of as just doing design work,
Mm.
and not that we're general contractors as well, and that we build what we design, and we follow everybody all the way through the process. So we design, we build, we project manage, we do all of it. So
Which, again, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a general assumption that you're not going to do this. Do people, when you're meeting with subcontractors, I mean, are they, well, when do the guys get here so we can start talking business?
Well, we've carefully curated who we work with as partners. It's been a long-term relationship with many of them. Because of that, we had to put in our fair share of what's the term? I'm really bad with terms. Brass tacks? No, that's not it. What is
No.
it? When
Dues?
you put in our dues, yeah,
Mhm.
like more so than most, where we have to prove that we know what we're doing. We have to prove that we're professionals. We have to prove that we can manage the work, and we know we can call bullshit. Can I say that?
Bullshit?
Bullshit.
Johnson, can we say bullshit?
Can we say bullshit?
Gray area.
Gray area. We can call baloney.
yes, there you go.
There you go. I said it nice and
Baloney.
slow so you can clip it in, put it
Yeah.
in. But honestly, it's you have to prove yourself to be taken
Mhm.
seriously, and it's taken a long time to develop relationships with people where they understand that you know what you're talking about and you were really good at what you do.
I mean, you must always have to be on your A game. I mean, there is no margin for error when there are preconceived notions that run contrary to the reality, correct?
I think any woman in any professional setting is up against that challenge. Yes.
Yep.
It makes sense. It
Yeah.
absolutely makes sense. So you've been doing this, by the way, how long has Elia?
Elia.
Elia, I don't understand why.
Elia.
Elia, I'm the worst human being ever. Elia.
Only the second worst. You're not the first.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm,
you're
I'm moving
welcome.
on the scale.
Yay.
Yay! It's so big. Okay. So when did you establish the company?
We established it this year. So January was our maiden voyage month. Yes. So we're a year into this. We've been doing this a long time, but this is our maiden voyage as a woman-owned company. Yes.
I think
Yes.
it's absolutely fantastic. But
Thank
you
you.
also, I would assume, knowing male egos, knowing all this other stuff, have to have a certain amount of tact and a certain amount of awareness when you're dealing with the subcontractors. Is that true?
Yes.
That was like a mutual yes. Yes. You'd think, I would say that society tells us that women are fragile, but there's no offense, Greg and producer Johnson. The male ego is very, very fragile, and you have to be
Yes, it
very,
is.
very, you have to dance around it a bit and let them have their moment, and then come in with the rationale that says, okay, yeah, but now we're going to do it this way. And thank you.
Mhm.
Thank
So-
you.
Yeah, and they can also point the finger. Yeah, men are. Okay, I'm about to get in a lot of trouble. Do you mind if I get in
Oh,
a lot
snap.
of trouble?
Yes.
All right. So
Cheers.
my opinion. Thank you very much. So my opinion, and this is not universally true.
Yes.
I'm going to call this about 70% of the industry, and you can
Mhm.
disagree with me
Okay.
and things, but a lot of people think, or at least I always thought, that guys who are in construction, these are the rugged can-do guys that want to, build and create. And what I have discovered in my many, many construction projects is that most of the time they're just men, children who don't want jobs. And that's where
Oh,
you'll get
snap.
60 or
That's where you
70%
snapped.
I did. So in my opinion, it's a matter of finding the 30% of capable, competent, professional people.
Mm.
Now, what are your thoughts?
So, well, what I'd say to that is that we as this specialist piece,
Mhm.
we are really, looking at those people who are serious and are like, and I don't think there is room for that type of thought process in remodeling. Now,
Correct.
mind you, union, carpenters or union, sometimes HVAC or whatever, if you're going to be a part of a big crew,
Mhm.
sometimes you can get lost in the, in the bigness of something. But when it's just you and a house, you can't get lost in the bigness. You need to be on there.
Absolutely
So,
true.
yeah.
It's direct development, and that's why it's so important to work with a company like yours, a company that has consistent contractors
Mhm.
that they know, that
Mhm.
they are
Yep.
are comfortable with.
And we really try to be quite Promethean or forward thinking in everything that we look at,
Sure.
trying to anticipate any issues that might be hidden or
Right.
things that, as we do design pieces, we're always looking for, if a client has mentioned something that might be a future project, we're always making sure that what we're doing now is not going to preclude that in the future.
Right.
So
Mhm.
there's a lot of forward thinking and being on top of things. But yeah.
Oftentimes, the key to success is just thinking one step ahead.
Right.
I mean, it's
Or
amazing.
10.
If you can, it's absolutely true. But it is. I mean, and our whole society kind of conditions us to deal with everything in the moment
Right.
rather than planning.
Mm.
And just to be clear, remodeling is also reactive for
Right.
sure, because
Absolutely.
as we put in all of our literature, there will be surprises.
There will be
Mhm.
surprises. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, but we have the knowledge, we have the people around us, we know how to deal with those.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've always said I love this expression. The fact is that experience gives you the ability to predict the future.
Mm.
You know what's going to happen. And as a certain individual once said, and not that I'm a fan, but sometimes, hogs and acorns and things. It's a Minnesota term, by the way.
Is
Even a
it?
blind hog can find an acorn. I always thought it was
I
a
don't think I
Minnesota
ever heard
term.
that one, but
I don't know much about either hogs or acorns, but it always struck me as a good expression.
yeah, we'll roll with it.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Samatha.
Yes,
To the
yes.
rescue. Greatly appreciated.
Yes, absolutely.
And now I
Good for
totally
you.
even forgot my question.
Yeah.
Which makes it all the worse.
Hogs and acorns somehow.
Something about, have you ever dealt with a hog and an acorn? No.
Mm-mm.
No, the question is essentially this. When you're looking back and you're predicting what's going to happen, the known unknowns, the unknown unknowns
Yes,
is what everyone
yes.
needs to plan
Mhm,
for. The Don Rumsfeld.
Right.
Again,
it's the
not
scary parts.
I know, exactly. And the unknown unknowns, the only thing that you can possibly prepare for as far as that goes is the awareness that it's going to happen.
Yes.
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 And
Yes.
if you've got that, so you actually build into your agreements or in your initial phases of a project, you do let your clients know that, well, for lack of a better term, there will be fuckery.
Essentially, I mean, we put it's in our sales literature
Should
that
we
there
change
will
the words?
be, yeah. We don't actually use that
Unforeseens.
term, but
Unforeseens,
yes. Exactly.
Well, we actually have a very our process is built to know that there's going to be surprises, right? So going in knowing that is all the power. People are the pandemic and all the lead times and the this and the that, and it's like, you know what? We always had lead times. They're just different now. So if you
Absolutely.
plan accordingly, that should not be an issue,
Right.
It's all
Absolutely
about
true.
planning. It's all about that.
Absolutely true. And, one of the nice things, there are two nice things that came out of COVID, in my opinion. One is that most everyone is day drinking. And, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. But
Drinking with style.
we're going to need you to do some promos.
Okay.
So there's, of course, that. But then people understand that supply chains are actually supply chains.
Right.
3 years ago, if you tried to explain to somebody that their sofa is going to take 12 weeks, they were
Right.
upset. Why can't you just go and pull it off a shelf? Now
26
12 weeks is a joy.
exactly.
26
It's all
weeks.
perspective. It's perspective,
I can
right?
attest to 26 weeks.
Oh,
It's pretty-
girl.
She's getting, by the way,
Girl.
Carrie has ordered the most amazing turquoise blue
Leather.
leather sectional.
When
that
am
is
I
going to
seeing your
arrive.
place? Because it sounds
I
fabulous.
will invite you to the housewarming.
Oh,
Mhm.
yay.
Wow.
I love
And
it.
the pool parties. You got a pool, don't you? Oh,
Oh,
good for
yes.
you. Fabulous. All right. Well, I mean, I think, again, kudos to you for that kind of forward thinking because it is rare.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right. I guess we're going to take another quick break. And then when we come back, I'm going to try to make Susie a little uncomfortable somehow. I'll figure it out.
Ooh.
This is-
Yay.
This is Drink in the Style on AM 950, the progressive voice
Non-drinker.
of Minnesota.
There we go. Excellent.
I call it patience. I think people have become more patient.
Well, they have.
At
They
least
understand things more.
understand.
Yep.
Patience.
Their will is broken.
Yeah.
So that sectional out there that's right
Mm-hmm.
by his door, that's
Yep.
the one.
Mm.
So
Yes.
is
It's
that-
actually arriving in a couple weeks.
But in turquoise?
But turquoise leather.
Oh, cool.
Really
I'm
soft.
so excited.
But we're not closing till December 8th. But like I was telling her before, the house we're supposed to close on back in
Oh,
March caught
can
on fire
Yeah, you
Yeah.
said that.
right before
mm,
closing. And it's still sitting there with the garage half built. Apparently there's some insurance fuckery. And so
Damn fuckery.
we finally got out of the contract, got our earnest money back. We found this amazing house in Eden Prairie.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
Meant to be.
That's where we're at now.
There are two truths in the world. This too shall pass.
Yep.
And fuckery.
There will be fuckery.
Yep.
Yeah. It's gonna be in my gravestone.
Dun, dun, dun.
Gregory Rich, born 1971,
And we're not
died
far.
2024.
And oh, the
Yeah.
fuckery.
Oh, the fuckery.
I'm actually not far. We're not far from the Minnetonka border, so yes, there may be a lot.
Shall we discuss St. Louis Park?
Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God, right?
I was just the city manager at Edina is a member of my Rotary. So they just gave me, did I tell you this? They
What?
just gave me a variance.
Yes, you did. Yes.
It's gonna be fucking huge. So I
Yes.
went over to talk to him. I'm like, Scott, I just want to tell you, man.
Yes.
God fucking bless your staff. I mean,
Right. Right.
you have made
Yes.
such a huge impact on me, on my
Huge.
business, and on every tenant in this business.
Yeah, no kidding. That's
And,
great.
Yeah, I know. And trying to get a variance out of St. Louis Park.
Ugh.
No.
Okay, so
Let's not discuss
what's that mean?
What's
Oh,
that?
what a variance means?
Yeah.
It means you're going against code, but they're going to let you do
Okay.
it.
Yeah, you're basically saying,
Okay.
"Can I please have permission, pretty please?"
So basically, it's usually has to do with yours is signage related. Is that correct?
Yes.
It's like, here's
Yeah,
a check for your campaign variance.
But
Thanks.
no,
Did I
but-
just say that?
yes, you did.
sorry.
But typically, it would be like we need another 6 inches over our setbacks for our lot or whatever, So
And
you
in
just
our
have to ask
case-
permission.
In our case, the digital messaging board needs a
Right.
automatic approval from the city. But the big thing
Sure.
was signage cannot be over 8 feet from
my.
grade.
Mm.
Now I slope down to the creek.
Right.
Mm,
So as I argued, 8 feet is
Not gonna happen.
Exactly.
it's not going to work.
So I went in and I asked for 18 feet, figuring they would negotiate me down to 12. They gave me the full 18 feet.
That's great.
I know,
Congratulations.
I
That's amazing.
know. So now
That's
you're
a
gonna
game changer
It is.
for you in this location.
It really, really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side
Yep.
No.
So when's that
I
getting?
do plan to ask you what you're thinking after the show, by the way.
I'll
but-
tell you all about it.
Excellent.
So when's that getting done?
They're hoping to pour the foundation before it gets cold
Mm.
and hopefully possibly get this up by January.
That's great.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Oh, I know. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
that's great.
So tenants get an hour each on a rotating basis,
Mm.
and then the rest of
Cool.
it is going to be just kind of general
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
You gonna put any risque messages late at night on there? Rotate the room.
Oh, the
It's pretty
fuckery.
tempting, isn't it? Maybe I should do like subliminal images that
Yes.
flash that no one will ever. A
Did that sign
mysterious
just-
reason. It's the most
Did that sign just say? Did that sign just say what I thought it said?
dangerous-
Yeah.
Let's go check that place out.
Are we supposed to have more whiskey? I thought so.
Yes, we are. Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Okay, wait.
Oh my
I have to
God, you
make
are so
more.
going to be a regular.
You want the same
I
thing?
love it.
I think she just
Uh,
has whiskey.
You just want
I
whiskey?
Yeah.
I'm going to say whiskey
Like-
too.
Here's your
Yeah.
shot
Mhm.
glass.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Can I have this? This is good. This is my
Oh,
favorite.
okay. I believe you.
There's more whiskey up there.
Oh, thank you.
Oops, sorry.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Do you need another water? And that is not
Greg got
meant
me
to be
onto
mean.
this. I have a
No,
bottle
I'm
of this at
just
home
fine.
now. It's smooth.
Designated driver. I love you.
Mine has a little bit of orange
The
left.
one and only reason I might consider getting my wife pregnant again.
It's interesting. 'cause mine
Designated
had a little
driver.
essence left, so it's,
You do.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that'll be
Hmm.
tasty. All right, I got to say, I don't like this question. This segment 4. How long do we have on segment 4? 12 minutes.
So let me do a little math here. Hold on. See what we got in the last one.
Throw me a couple questions that you'd like me to ask you.
So I think we could go into women in the industry and other roles. We could go into women in design and the downfalls of that. I think is a pertinent question in our industry, especially in the remodeling industry. The remodeling awards are coming up, and yet no designer is going to get credit for their work. It's only a contractor award.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's something about that. If we want to get a little risque.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, as we go back to this, let's see. I had asked about, or on the previous one, I was going to ask about women actually in construction itself. Is that?
It's happening, but not enough, and we could spin off of that.
Precisely.
And then also talk about how it gets pigeonholed, because Susie has a great, again, she's a wordsmith. She has a good thing to spin off on that with a homemaker versus a homemaker.
Fair point. I actually, you used the word Promethean, I believe. Did you not?
I did.
She's
Well
so good with
done.
words.
I
And yet
love
she's
the word
sinking in the
Promethean.
ocean, Greg.
I know.
It's
right?
not
What the
okay.
fuck? You can pull out Promethean,
It's
and
not
then you
okay,
decide that you're
man.
going to get on
I
the
know,
Titanic.
I know.
We want you to survive. Please. We love you.
Can't think of
Okay, yeah. All right. All right.
Wonder
Whenever
Woman.
you're ready.
you just push Jack off, right?
You can say whatever you want.
Jack off.
Do you remember one of the funniest ones ever was, do you know the art girls? Holly and Kelly. It's actually just the art girl now, because Kelly moved out. But Holly, she's this wonderful woman. She's I like her. She's very, very conservative, though. She's like Bible Belt conservative type of thing. But for some reason, when I had her on the show, we discovered, or Johnson let us know, that we had a liquor, that Cock and Bull, it's
Oh,
called.
sure. Yeah.
And yep, and we asked Johnson, "Can you say cock and bull?" And the whole rest of the fucking show, she could not stop putting in the word cock whenever she possibly could work it. Because if it's referring to a chicken, you can say it.
If you have an episode number, I'd like to check that one. Thank you. Thank you.
Really? So I can make up like a sponsor, Cock and Chicken Industries. What if it's a cat? Can I make it like Cock and Pussy Industries?
Oh, jeez.
I think you should start making your own liquor line. And if you could name them all to that effect.
Or a chicken and volleyball company.
Chicken and volleyball company?
Cock and balls.
Cock and balls. Oh my God. You know, I own the website domain Johnson Buggy Whips.
Just make sure it's aromatic.
Of
Oh,
course.
I don't know if I want to smell that.
This
Wait,
is definitely
what?
drinking the style after dark.
Susie,
I'm not following.
Susie's like,
I'm
I don't know what's happening.
Right.
I'm sinking. I'm sinking.
Maybe I was clairvoyant. I'm just going down.
You are clairvoyant. Oh my goodness. Ah, the devil's in the details.
All right. Outstanding. Are you ready for segment 4, our final segment? Did I come up with a new
Yes.
quote? Did I? Oh, I didn't remember.
I don't know.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, no, I got this one. Yep, I got it.
Mm.
I do. I was actually at Rotary today. Paul Douglas was speaking. The weather
Yeah.
guy and business guy. He's, I don't know if you know, that guy is rolling in
Tell me
fucking,
when.
he's
Do
sold,
you want me
bought
to add a
and
little
No.
bit of
built
Yeah.
and sold 7 companies.
Yep.
Um,
I know
oh
my
God, the last one he
fiance
sold
like, well,
for
you're in a good
$45
mood
million.
today.
I know.
Do Indeed,
He's
indeed.
home working
But he
hard
had
on
a
the
few
floor.
quotes that I was thinking I might
He's
use,
like, we're
but
getting
I've
our
already forgotten
house ready
them.
to
So.
sell, so he's working on putting the floor, and I'm sitting having fun.
As you do.
Yes, as I should.
Yes, as you should. Yes, as you should.
Outstanding. All right, one quick sip. Salute.
Cheers. Slanche.
Mambo Italiano.
Here's to you, here's to me. And if we shall ever disagree, fuck you, here's to me. No?
Yes. No. One of my friends used to do that too.
Slanche.
She would always do limericks, but that was one of hers.
I'm taking your meme. I leave you this potato.
Yeah. Here's to you, here's to me.
You were saying about segment 4.
Here's to you. Here's to me. If we should ever disagree, fuck you. Here's to me.
Yes.
All the fuckery to you,
Yes.
here's to me.
Hang on, I'm gonna put that in my random list.
Oh, do it.
And here's to you. Here's to me. If we should ever disagree, fuck you. Here's to me. To the random list.
Yes.
See, you like it?
I worked in an Italian bar for 10
Yeah.
years.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, this is why we get along.
I know. I was a
You've dealt with me
bartender.
for years.
Yes, yes.
I
yes,
am.
I did.
Mhm. I'm so sorry.
I've been blessed.
Can I use that as the quote?
That quote needs to be saved whenever you have a guest that's not going so well.
Yep.
That'll be your end one right there.
Agreed. It does
Although
happen.
you're not on the show, man.
Good idea, Johnson.
Do you want to know one of the toughest people I've had on the show? And I've had him on a couple times now. You know Carter Everbeck?
No.
Really? Oh, you got to meet Carter.
He's good looking.
Name sounds.
Carter is fabulous. He owns Homme Forme.
Hmm. No, I don't.
Didn't he do the art in here?
I don't know.
Or is that a different card?
He painted all. That's him.
Yes.
He
okay.
painted all the backgrounds and that.
Oh, okay.
And he
Oh.
does furniture. His expertise is he takes vintage furniture
Mm.
and then he reupholsters and renews it and makes it just wild and crazy.
Oh,
and fun.
cool.
If you
Okay.
go downstairs to the outdoor
Yeah.
outside conference room,
Yeah.
the chairs that
Oh
are
yeah,
down
you
there.
told us about. That's why he sounds
Yes,
familiar.
you
You told us
did.
about
Yes,
the
yes,
pink.
Does he have an
Yeah.
actual
That's why
store
his name sounds-
somewhere?
What's that?
Does he have a shop somewhere?
He does. It's kind of uptowny area, a little
Mm.
bit off
What's it
that
called?
section. Homme Forme, spelled Homme Form with an E. But no, he is absolutely fabulous. But he is so fucking dry. He was so fucking dry. So
Mm.
at the beginning of the show, I do my introduction, and I do
Yes.
a very flourish-filled, introduction.
you.
Carter,
Never.
genius.
Yes.
And I go on for like 2 minutes about him, and I say, "Carter, how are you?" And he just goes, "Swell."
Oh no.
He was very interested in my cat.
No.
Sweat.
So I had a guy come into my office.
I'm
like,
super good.
after it came in, after that aired, he came in and he sat down. I said, "Hey, how are you?" And he goes, "Swell." I'm like, "You listened to the show, didn't you?"
He signed the book. I had him sign the book too.
Did you? Oh, that's
Yeah.
brilliant. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah, and then I showed him pictures of my cats, and he thought they were all cute. But I don't know if he was just pretending to like them.
No, he likes cats, I think. Yeah, he's a cat guy. Yeah, no, I like the guy a lot. He's a
Yeah.
good fucker. All right, segment 4, the final segment. I've forgotten we were going to talk about, but we'll just wing it.
Yes.
Way to go on these.
Oh, we're going to start with women. Okay, got
Women.
it.
We're talking about women, Greg. Come on. You know, you
Talking
can
about
talk
it.
about
They
women
are my favorite subject in
Well.
many, many ways.
besides alcohol.
Actually, they go well together.
Right?
Depends on the woman.
Agreed.
Oh, excellent point, Gary. Excellent point. It is terrible. I do seem like the devil, don't I? I'm actually just harmless.
But the devil's in the details.
and I'm
and the
most definitely
details
not in the
matter.
Details, but they do matter.
They do matter, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Carrie's got a point here.
Somebody once pointed out that I am a sheep in wolf's clothing,
Are you though? Are you though?
as far as you know.
Hmm.
All right, Johnson, before I dig deeper, because as everybody knows, when you're in a hole, the best thing to do is dig
Keep
faster.
deeper.
digging.
Yeah.
Keep digging.
We'll allow him to take a shovel from you.
Thank you. And let's begin. So you're a good friend, Johnson.
Here we go. All right, here we go. There comes the block, and all right, here we
Mambo Italian.
Oh, the Calabrese. Oh, the Calabrese. If you know the Calabrese, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gregory Rich, host of Drink in the Style, and we are having a great time here.
We are.
I know, it's fabulous.
Yes.
Tamitha, Susie, Carrie, this could be a regular program.
Very well could.
Yes.
You got to do the singing introduction, Tamitha.
I do.
Yes.
Which one?
Why don't you sing Chicago?
Chicago.
No, you don't like
Is
Chicago?
that a thing?
Chicago.
Oh,
Chicago.
Susie's coming out.
Yes, I
Is
told
Is
you.
that what you meant?
That is
Yes.
exactly what I meant. Well done.
I'm like, what?
I'll
I don't know what it is.
I'll take
So
over on that
sorry.
knife. All right, back to talking about important and meaningful things.
Like Chicago.
Like Chicago.
Mm.
You like Chicago, don't you, Carrie?
Yeah, first time I've been there was this year, and I really loved it. Fell in love with it.
Did I ever tell you to go to Harlan Burke?
I don't know.
Harlan J. Burke. Folks, if you ever are in Chicago, he's on State Street. He is an antiquities dealer.
Ooh.
Some of the coolest I kind of collect antiquities.
Mm.
And he is like the guy,
Mm.
one of the top guys in the country. He deals, in coins and weaponry and so on.
Mm.
And it is just worth a visit.
You know
So,
what's a sexy word?
go on.
Antiquities.
Agreed.
Mm.
We
And-
did stay at a historic hotel, the Palmer House, which is pretty
Oh,
incredible.
it's
The Palmer House,
yes,
absolutely.
Yes,
Beautiful.
that's it is
Beautiful.
lovely.
Yes.
It's fabulous. There's
Yeah,
you ever see the movie The Music Man with Robert Preston?
cannot
Have
say.
you? Are you a fan?
Always.
We watch it every spring. For some
Mm.
reason, my kids think it's a Easter movie, probably because of all the
Oh,
pastel
sure.
colors.
Yep,
and
Why
things.
not?
But when Harold Hill arrives in Iowa,
Mhm.
he's walking through, and of course, Iowans are not always the most engaging and friendly people. So he walks up to a guy who's farming. And he says, "Pardon me, stranger. Can you tell me where I might find a good hotel?" And the guy looks at him and he says, "Try the Palmer House in Chicago."
Go away.
I know it is. Great movie, folks. Look it up if you haven't. It will not disappoint. All right, let's get talking again about some of the meaningful things like women in construction. Here's my question for you.
Mm.
We're talking about you guys, you are
Mhm.
general contractors, essentially. You are
Mhm.
builders, remodelists.
We do
What
it all.
about you do it all? Do you do the actual building? That's the question. Are there more women moving into the actual construction side of construction?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, there are many more women coming in. It's still a small percentage, but
Mhm.
yes, and we are always advocating for that.
Absolutely.
There's big shortages in all of the trades,
Oh.
and there's openings for all sorts of people who aren't traditionally thought of for those positions. Yeah, we also think I've been trying to rethink how women are perceived, and the term homemaker, I think, can be thought of two different ways.
Oh, I like where you're going.
So,
Words
as a Susie, and the term Susie homemaker,
Mhm.
we've been talking about a play on words, with
Mhm.
because we make homes.
Yeah,
We make houses homes.
we do.
That's what we do.
Oh my
So
God, that's brilliant.
homemaker.
So you're
So-
Susie Homemaker, the homemaker. Oh,
Mhm.
that's fabulous.
Right?
And I mean, what about other aspects of the industry? Where are you seeing women becoming more prevalent?
Well, general contracting, right?
Mhm.
So I got my general contracting license earlier this year because it was necessary to have that in order to have contracts and to actually do things with the projects that we wanted to do. And I'm not alone.
No.
There's many women that are coming up and seeing that there is definitely a place for us in the remodeling industry.
Mhm.
It's important. The difference to me between remodeling and new build is that remodeling, you are very ingratiated with a client. You're in their space, and a lot of times they're living there during the project.
Mhm.
And if they're not, you're associating with them all the time, right? So you need to be able to be personable. You need to be able to read their feelings. You need to be able to speak with them on a level that is more than just, we're going to do drywall now.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's going to be dusty. It's going to be messy when we put that primer coat on. It's going to be a little
Pathetic.
smelly. You might want to get the dog out of here, you know.
Mhm.
So there's a little bit of all of that. So I think that women are finding that they have a true place in remodeling. And it's not just in design. It's not just in the final decor of the space. It's also in the management, the project management, the
And the building.
contracting, and the building. Absolutely.
Yep.
You know, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But
I mean, when I was in, junior high, I signed up for industrial arts, and they told me, "Oh no, girls don't take industrial arts." And you're like,
Really?
"Yeah,
Bah.
yeah, you should,
Bah
you should
humbug.
be in,
Agreed.
home economics."
Can I say
But
that?
I've always been interested
Great
in building
Thanksgiving.
things, and and making things, and
Yeah.
So that's just, and there's lots of women who are,
Yeah.
and they tend to end up into things that might be more what we think of as fine, whether it be art or jewelry, or that's the kind of maker space that's been open to them
Right.
before. But there's bigger things. There's things that touch a lot of people. So,
Oh, absolutely.
and I think that's coming back around.
I'm glad to hear that. I really, really am. I mean, what about, is there an advantage to some extent to being a woman-owned business in this industry? Have you found that people will respond to your style from time to time more than the typical construction guy?
I guess one of the things I would say is that often when we're working with couples, the woman is a lot of the decision maker in what's happening in the home. So I think it is, as far as being a conduit between the client and what's getting built or done on site, I think that's a real advantage for being a woman.
Mhm.
Absolutely makes sense, because the truth of the matter is that, guys don't, in
Can I
most
add a
marriages-
point?
Please.
Yes.
From my point of view, just as a project manager in a
Mhm.
female-owned company as well,
Yes.
I feel like, no offense to men out there, but I do feel like we have empathy.
Mhm.
We're a little bit more empathetic in their situation. We're in their home. We're
Mhm.
disrupting things. I
Mhm.
feel like women have a better way of showing that empathy
Mm.
that
Yeah.
they
couldn't-
might like.
I
Like,
couldn't agree more. I mean, now
Mhm.
you can dig deep and you can say, is it because you're, socially allowed to be more empathetic and guys are
Right.
trained not
Yeah.
to? But whatever the cause,
Right.
it's
it's just a
unquestionably
natural
true.
Right.
thing.
And we've tried to take it a step further and do and take it in designer led project management, right? So
Mhm.
we actually do where we, as the designer, are also project managing and cutting out a middle voice, right? So it eliminates overhead costs for the client, the end user, and it also we are being very proactive in the final details of the project, right? So
Mhm.
we can say, this is what I intended, not what they intended or she intended or he intended.
Yes.
This is what I intended when I designed this. And so this is what the substrate needs to be. This is where it needs to finish. This is how this product needs to go on top of it. This is how it goes together. And you get this collaboration with these artisans that are in the home doing what they do best, whether it be electricians or plumbers or tile setters or millwork people. And you're saying, they understand. They're like, oh, I see, and it's lovely. It's a really great collaborative, final piece. It's
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense. It really does. That resonates, and I can see where that would create a different experience for the
Yeah.
homeowner.
Mhm.
So kudos to you. What about, speaking of kudos, what about recognition? What about awards and things along these lines? Is that also something that's kind of an old boys club or whatever it's called?
It is somewhat. In particular, we have an awards ceremony coming up this next week, and there will be a way. It's a Contractor of the Year awards.
This is the NARI.
Yep, NARI
award.
Contractor of the Year
Mhm.
awards, which are great awards.
Cody's, by the way.
Cody's,
Yes.
yep. But the designers are not recognized as separate from the contractor finished project. So
Really?
yes, so there could be there could be people showing projects that were designed by outside firms.
Mhm.
Then there's design build firms, but the designer themselves, might not even be at that firm anymore when they win an award.
Mhm.
So, and then they don't get any recognition for it.
So there's no category within those awards for design.
No.
No.
Really?
Even though the actual things that you're being judged on are almost all design.
Right.
You know,
Really?
yes.
Yeah.
It's not like, did you hit the
Mhm.
budget, and are your people,
Yeah.
it's really about, does this serve their needs? How does it
Does
look?
it hit their
It's very
aesthetic? Is it-
visual.
Yeah. Does
So,
it
That
have
is
visual? Mm-hmm.
fascinating. That
That's
makes all the sense in the
Mhm.
world to me.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
absolutely
And
shocked.
what's interesting to me is that I've worked in a lot of different design professions, and this is the only one in which there is this possession of the product
Mhm.
that doesn't share in the collaboration of its artisans that helped bring it to fruition, right?
Right.
So whether it be digital, graphic design, or theater, or architects,
Architecture.
AIA,
Mhm.
yeah, they all recognize that
The whole
they're-
list of the design team,
Yeah.
the production team,
Yeah.
all of that is listed, and that's
Film.
all part of the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
credits.
Right.
Credits
It's really
for the work.
interesting.
That
and
is-
this does not happen in remodeling right now. So
well, I'm confident that it is something that eventually folks will realize and wake up, because
Yeah.
an awards program from any point is designed to recognize those people who are exceptional in their industry, and this is a huge part of the industry.
Agreed.
So all right, well, there it is. We've just solved a million different problems. It's
Amen.
brilliant.
Yes.
All right. Well, there it is, my friends. We have drunk our way through another episode. On behalf of Habitation Design, the District Edina, and Tamitha Miller and Susie Strothman from Elia Healy, I'd like to wish everybody good luck this coming week, and I'll finish with a quote from Dante Alighieri. Yes, that Dante. The secret to getting anything done is to act. Good night, everybody. That should be on every show. Why don't people always applaud for me?
That was fun. That was fun. You guys have great voices.
Oh, it's all good. That's
You
okay.
guys have great
As long-
radio voices.
Oh, thanks.
So does Greg.
Yeah. So I was like, I told my friend, I'm like, yeah, come look it up. And they're like, yeah, they spelled your name with an N. And I'm like, they'll correct it, I'm sure. Tamitha Johnson.
Next time, take
No
some
end.
shots before.
No,
I was so nervous.
I know.
And then the more that we